And you do that. Awesome. Well, hello, everyone. Wayward Gamers, welcome to the Emporium. I am Jay, also known as Neophet3 on the socials. Welcome to the Legends of the Natural Ones, our Pathfinder 2E actual play campaign. We have a lot to dive into today. There is several guests in the realm right now. We are missing Carrie for a short period of time. We are hoping she's going to be able to join us later, at which point we will go to a quick break and turn into something new. But we'll see. Why don't we go around and introduce our wonderful and talented players before we dive into a recap and some really interesting RPs and deaths, or dying saves, I should say, because I'm an evil GM. Jeff, how are you doing and who are you playing?
I'm very good. Hi, everybody. I am Jeff, and I am excellent. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Minnesota, and which is nice because we haven't had sun in a long time. So it's wonderful to see. I am playing Aviro Starborn. He is our high elf wizard slash scaredy cat slash currently on fire.
Well, currently on fire. You're just burnt.
Crispy.
Yeah.
He's crispy.
Yeah. It's good. Well, thank you, Jeff. Robo, how are you doing, sir?
Good me. Robo-Goblin. I'll be playing Golbenax, also known as Goblin. And I have wings now, so that's pretty cool.
Yes.
I have wings now.
Across the bridge in most elegant way.
Very much so, yes.
And cool, too, if I recall. Awesome to have you, Goblin. Thank you so much. Joshua, how are you doing, sir? Thank you for being here. Who are you playing?
Happy to be here as always. I am playing Talico, our bounty hunter urban druid. Also now under the moniker of Dwarven Taxi. For helping our friend Glastoc across a bridge. Yeah, glad to be here.
Yeah, I will have to put in the end of their Dwarven Taxi, so I will add that to the next name plate. Thank you for being here, Joshua. Jim, you lead up to that.
I'm Jim, and I'm playing Glastoc Steelcloak, who's right now riding on the back of Joshua's character, who is a giant stag at the moment because I have short legs and can't move fast. So
I almost want to. Yeah, you've got that bite on the back as you're flying.
Yeah.
So, and this beautiful leap of air that kind of propelled you over the bridge on into safety. So, welcome back. And our additional wonderful guest player, who's unfortunately wasn't able to join us, but her character was in game but unconscious and currently dying because of someone's
what?
Yeah. With a recap, welcome, Aviro. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing great out of game. Hi, hi, how's it going? This is gonna be fun. I'm Aviro. I play Pepper Appleblossom. She is the fairy cleric, a deity of Gazra. Excited to dive in, and thank you so much for welcoming me back. It's been such a pleasure. The last few games, happy to be back again. Oh my goodness, let's keep the ball rolling, yeah? I'm excited to play with you two as well, Robo and Talico.
Yes, we've got some new players playing with each other. I mean, so our guest players are always amazing and always talented and great. And we've had several guest players over the course of different times, but this is the first time we've had multiple guest players playing together. So I'm very excited that the realm of contacts of the natural ones are meeting each other and becoming friends, possibly, and all that good stuff. But to recap, but before we recap, there's three things I need to let everyone know watching the game or watching the VOD, things of that nature. Today is Wednesday, May 1st. And we've got a lot of things to celebrate in this month of May, including Asian American and Pacific Islander Month, as well as what's the other one I'm thinking? I blanked out.
Mental awareness.
Mental awareness. Thank you.
Mental health awareness.
Considering, yeah, mental awareness week or month. So, but we also want to thank our wonderful affiliates of Talon and Claw and where's the word I'm looking for? And
Smuggler's Coffee.
Because yes, thank you. So yes, in the chat you'll see, go to Talon and Claw. Man, I'm losing it today. It's one of those, I've got so much going on in the brain. Go to Talon and Claw. They have excellent wood craftsmanships of dice vaults and a lot of other things, GM vaults, a whole bunch of stuff that they're kind of putting together that's just expanding. So wonderful friends of ours, as well as Smuggler's Coffee. And interesting note, Smuggler's Coffee Dave with Smuggler's Coffee will be joining us for the first time to the channel this Saturday for May the 4th be with you. So our huge announcement is that on Saturday, May the 4th, this is my first charity, not the channel's first charity. This is our second charity. Joshua had a wonderful charity last year here on the channel, but this is my first charity. And we are doing a May the 4th charity event for the American Stroke Foundation. I am a stroke survivor and I wanted to give back. So we are doing a charity event for that at 7:30 p.m. We have some wonderful guests and friends joining us, including Dave from Smuggler's Coffee, Emily, who's been on the channel more, formerly known as Emily, is there. We have Anthony Joyce Rivera, as well as Julia Mandolin, who is the artist for a great artist. She's been part of Nerd Circus as well as Progcore Fantasy, which is a Todd Stashwick's and David Nett's new product, a new fantasy thing that they're going to be coming out of, which at the end of May gets released. So more information on that, check them out. But on this Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be playing a Star Wars one-shot and to celebrate May the 4th. And we're going to do a charity event. So your donations will affect the game. For every $25, you get a credit. The group gets a credit and they can use those credits for boost dice, for upgrading dice, or torturing the GM, or, turning the pip light side. So there's a lot of different stuff that we're going to do. We're not expecting a lot. We just have a small goal. We're a small channel, but if you can join us, please support us in that wonderful endeavor that we have, combining Star Wars of Love and a charity event. So that's enough plug on that. So we're going to dive into our recap. The group decided they needed to save Pepper because Pepper got kidnapped from the Rusty Dragon bathroom as Aviro was reading a book. An hour later, when Glastoc and Brynn came back and realized Pepper had been kidnapped, they went and spent the night trying to figure it out. And it turned out the wrecking crew had kidnapped her and brought her to the Thistle Top fortress. And they hatched a plan. And then just as they're hatching a plan, Calico and Goblin show up on the scene because Timon, who is the gnome ranger that is currently in outside of Sandpoint, who was running with the crew, called for help because he was busy, but he knew the group needed help if they're going to save some stuff that was going on. So they showed up and they decided to go to Thistletop in a very sneaky way and a very smart. They avoided a lot of encounters and went right to the main chamber, which they saw Boran from the Abyss, or of the Abyss, who is a very, very bad looking dude, very, very powerful, former, lieutenant in the Blue M's, that type of stuff, big badass. Well, needless to say, they saw illusion. It turned out to be an illusion of Pepper with her wings removed on a cage, which everyone got pissed off and was really, really angry until they realized it was an illusion. Hatched up by your wonderful evil GM and condoned by a role player, guest player.
Thanks and apologies.
Check that out in the last episode because Jeff and Carrie both in player comments were like, what the hell did you do, Jay? Does Averill know this? It was good to watch. And yes, Averill and I had many conversations beforehand. Needless to say, Glastoc's wonderful natural 20 to intimidate this demonish, influence went successful and impressed him. So he basically said, try to escape and then I'll chase you. At which point they went and found Pepper and Ren, her friend from the Whiz-Bangs, in the jail, and they ran up, running away, as Glastoc was the back shield and taking some damage. And this was very clear that this is a bad
Some damage.
Bad
Oh,
dude.
yikes.
This was a bad. Uh-oh. 1 second here.
Uh-oh. What's uh-oh?
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Hey everyone, guess what? We're back. And you know what? You can now hear me because I made a mistake. But welcome, Wayward Gamers, to the Emporium for the Wayward Gamer. I'm Jay, also known as Neopet3. We are going to skip the introductions again because I am such a bad GM. I forgot to hit my mic. And we are on a... But one thing we want to do is we want to say thank you to all our wonderful guest players, to Robo, to Joshua, to Averill for joining us. I had a nice long speech about our affiliates of Talon and Claw and Smuggler's Coffee.
It was beautiful. It was really the best that he's ever done. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Because
amazing.
Gremlins, that mic situation just was not working. But then recap real quick. So this Saturday we are doing a charity event here at the Emporium for the Wayward Gamer for May the 4th be with you. We have some wonderful guests and some wonderful players. Check out our Instagrams as well as our socials on time. It's at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday. We are doing a charity event. Your donations can affect the game. So with that being said, we're going to dive back into the game. And maybe in post, I'm going to figure something else out. I'm sorry, everyone, but welcome to GMing 102 because, I need to go back to school. But
No,
anyways,
man, it's you're also technical directing, and that's hard to do while GMing. Like,
well,
it is
I am
totally
100%.
understandable.
I
Yes.
am forgetting that there are, like I said, I knew in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, I got to check my audio because it always fails, but I can't check it until I flip over. And that's when I jump in. So it's one of those. Yeah. Okay. So needless to say, they ran from a demon. Aviro snatched up Pepper, was holding him in his arms, running up, but had to cast some spell, so he put her in a satchel, which may or may not cause some issues. And then he got lava columned fire, which caused some damage to him and to Pepper. And as they crossed the bridge, Aviro pulls out Pepper, who was not breathing. And Calico immediately pours some healing potions down her throat and is giving her medicine checks and everything else. But we need to start off. Pepper, I need a straight flat dying roll. So you roll a d20. You need to get over a 10 on your first roll. There might be more.
Wait, Calico's potions ain't doing nothing of it?
It's not yet. We're seeing where it's coming in.
Okay. Well, no pressure first roll of the night. All right. Here we go. So that's a 9.
Okay. You have one dying point. You're at dying 1.
Okay, got it.
You have to get to dying 4. And then
Oh,
you
thank
die.
God.
Please roll again, but you need an 11
Great.
or higher.
Okay, cool. Let me switch out my dice real quick. Hold on. all right. Well, we're gonna go with this red one. Okay, cool. Don't fail me now. Oh my God. I got a 10.
You're a dying 2. You need on this
Oh my
next
God.
roll, you need a 12
Question.
or higher. Yes.
Question, Jay.
Yep.
How many rounds before Talico and Glastoc? How many rolls does she have to make before Talico and Glastoc are close enough to her? Specifically Glastoc, because he can actually cast Stabilize.
Mhm.
Can since Aviro's right there, can I make a medicine check to aid?
So everything that happened with Talico putting the potions in her mouth, this is happening before that.
Okay, wait.
So
It's
since
a good
I'm
thing
right,
Pepper wasn't surrounded in a burlap sack in a lava tube or anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
Great.
before, and that's what we're
Okay.
rolling up until as you're crossing the bridge,
Okay. All right.
and then getting
Cool,
a little
you know,
bit
third time's a
further.
charm.
Yeah. One more roll, please.
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
So it's like 4.
Give me
It's
another
4,
roll,
right?
please.
It's 4 in 2E. Yeah.
Give me another roll, please.
Okay, cool. Maybe I won't use dice tower. Like, I'm just gonna casually not put pressure on my dice and just do it. Okay, cool. It's so much better. It's 18.
All right.
Yeah.
just
Right
needed
now.
just to bring it down.
So as you brought back to dying 1, potions are getting put down your throat, and you start to feel the healing, but you're still not. You were that breathing because you're in that dying state, and suddenly the more medicine and stabilization and chest compressions and things of that nature are hitting. What is Pepper's dreaming as she's at the gates of between life and death? What is it? What is her death dream?
I have to say it.
And the award goes to for best comment in game.
All right, sure. If we're gonna be that open, Jay.
Wow.
Okay, tight. All right. So, Pepper is back in the Feywild. In their outside, it kind of looks like a super chill English cottage. But inside, it's huge. It's like mansion huge. Something that the space does not fill in a tiny little cute cottage. Inside, she's doing a lot of baking. Smells excellent. Fudge, brownies, some orange peels. Oh, you want this in your mouth in more ways than one. And she has all her friends that she's met along her journey there, all together, all celebrating, all having a champagne toast. Everyone is there. She hasn't met Talico and Robo consciously yet, so apologies. Please don't be offended. I blame Jay. But everyone is there. Ren is there. Aviro is there. Everyone. Glastoc's there. Everyone that she knows is there. A lot of people from the Temple of Gazra that she that she's made a home with back in Schmaltmarsh in the temple, and a giant wall of excellent stationery, washi tapes, excellent parchment of different textures, different color inks. You can, the textures and the waxes, all colors of all sizes, and everyone's there just having a great old time, chilling. Yeah, that is the extent of what I'm willing to share of that dream.
All right. So then, as you suddenly, everyone starts smiling at you, and it's that joy, and then you start to feel this pull, and you're feeling the pull, and suddenly everything just kind of fades in your vision as it just as you're getting like pulled away from it, and it just gets in the distance, and suddenly everyone, you see Pepper's tiny eyes start to open up as she's lying there, as Glastoc had stabilized and Talico had bandaged and was doing medicine, and Aviro wanting to get in and doing some more, but there's too many people around Pepper, and he's kind of getting pushed to the side a little bit.
So he prestidigitates the dirt and stuff off of her to clean her wound areas.
Yep. And Brynn is with Ren, making sure she's alive, and she is, but just kind of making sure they're flicking off the demon thing or the abyss way in the distance, because you got out of the goblin area, and like I said, you're further away from that entrance before you stop. That's why there were several rolls. And as Pepper, you look up and you see you see some familiar faces and unfamiliar faces. What would you like to do?
Yeah, immediately Pepper starts choking with the potion that was shoved in their mouth, and everything being all heightened and terrifying all at the same time, because the last thing she remembered was being completely knocked out and being in captive. So immediately shoots their eyes open. You all smell something. Didn't fart. You all smell interesting journey of scents. The first thing you smell is kind of like dusty muck. So if you were going to near like a bog, if you've ever been near a bog, it's kind of like a thick scent, and it's kind of like earthy and like quite unpleasant odor. And then immediately, as her eyes continue to get wider, she looks immediately at Aviro, catches their eyes and everyone else, and starts to clock familiarity. And then the scent that you've all noticed begins to ease out of that earthy, musky bog and into something that's chocolatey, something cinnamony, something a little spicy, and with some hints of like tangerines and orange come into your way. As Pepper looks up at all of you, immediately she looks and says, "Where's Brynn?"
And you hear Brynn's, "She's good, I've got her." And as she's making sure that you hear Brynn's voice just on the opposite side of the crowd.
That other temple of Gosra. I should have gotten them with a shocking grasp, but it was too late. But where are we? And nice to meet you.
Pepper.
Hi, I'm here.
Pepper, you okay? Pepper, you okay?
Yeah.
Alligator steps back out of the way. Like,
Okay.
There's so much going on and so much to take in. And what's that? Smells like burning.
That's us. That's you and me. That's you and
I
I.
need to look at my
It's like
wings.
burning.
That's you
Your
and I.
wings are they feel singed, but they are prestidigitated better, but they are singed.
Aviro runs up and just picks you up and gives you a huge hug. A huge hug.
Pepper gives a huge hug back and goes,
We thought we lost you.
You should have checked in sooner. I was trying to hold on. Thank you for getting me out. Pepper
Aviro
smells
sits
Aviro.
down. Aviro
What do I
sits down.
smell? What do I smell from Aviro?
Smoke. Char.
Smoke
What
and
would it smell
char.
like if you stood in the middle
Burning
of a volcano?
paper.
Like there's probably like sulfur of the sulfur has gotten into his robes and stuff, so it's probably not very fresh. And so he sits there and he sobs, like exhaustion sobs, and then prestidigitates his robes fresh.
Oh, Pepper holds him a little tighter.
I'm very hungry.
So Jay,
Yeah.
can we get to where so everybody's within like 10 or 15 feet of Glastoc?
No problem. Yeah.
Okay. So now that Pepper's so Glastoc's going to concentrate for a second, and all of a sudden he gets an angelic halo, and it releases light in a 15-foot radius, and everybody that's within that is going to get bonus to the healing spell I'm about to cast. So if Ren Aviro, basically everybody that took damage. So, and then let's see. So take so I take 3 actions to cast a heal spell, which allows me to do a positive energy burst in a 30-foot emanation. So everybody is gonna get 23 plus twice because of the halo, twice the spell. Everybody gets 31 hit points back.
So
Damn!
Yeah, Pepper, you're feeling great. Brynn is feeling good. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So, and you hear in the distance, Peppa, it's good to hear you. It's Brynn. Peppa, it's good that you're there. By the way, Teleco, Peppa, Teleco. Robo, or excuse me, Goblin, Peppa, Goblin. Ren, Goblin, Ren, Teleco, Ren, Goblin.
The second time that she says Talico's name, he just starts raising his hand every time. Talico, he's like
Smart. Big brain energy.
have we met Ren?
No, you have not met.
Yeah, we
Ren.
don't know Ren.
Oh yes, you're right, Ren. Hi, Ren. Nice that you're okay.
Ren still is unconscious though.
Oh God.
Yeah, she's alive. She's fine, but she's unconscious.
Oh, all right. Introductions are in order as well. But hi, it's nice to meet you, Talico and Goblin.
Hello.
Hello. It's good to meet you. Well, good to see you breathing.
Oh,
Are you
yes.
feeling better?
Oh, absolutely. So much better. Thank you, Glastoc. I really appreciate it. And wow, your healing has gotten so much stronger. I'm so proud of you.
Glastoc just gets embarrassed and
Aww.
walks away from her.
Ooh,
taking
question.
survey, is everybody taking quick survey as Talico is observing everybody? Does everybody seem to be well enough, like above half hit point? Like,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
numerically on a
Big
scale above 50%.
I'm like 75.
That said, I'm still
Yeah.
down. Yeah, more like around 75%. I'm still not.
I think
So I gotta
That's
take
Glastoc's
cool.
what, 60 maybe?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm down 20 total.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have more healing spells too, Joshua.
So yeah, no one's in any dire need, and by the time you get back
Awesome.
to Sandpoint, you'll be fine.
Okay. Okay, so question.
Mhm.
Jay, do I see our friendship bracelet from our Stay Frosty times that I got them as a gift before I bounced out?
I don't know. That would be a question for the players.
Oh yeah. Or do I roll anything to see? Or I guess Glastoc, do I see if you're wearing your friendship bracelet?
Of course he is. He doesn't have any reason to have taken it off. So
Oh.
Brynn
Okay,
would be
cool.
wearing it.
Okay,
Is Aviro?
Is Aviro wearing
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay, great.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm obviously wearing it.
Are you
Oh,
are you in need of food by any chance?
Yes,
I-
thank you, Goblin. I'm so
Are we
glad you asked.
safe?
Starving.
It
Okay.
appears that we are. The devil has held true to his word that once we escaped, that we are free to go. The even the minions, the goblins were left
Me?
us alone.
Oh,
No, the things in the forest. There's an encampment in the forest from us looking at it, from me looking at it earlier.
oh,
Okay.
okay. And my stomach just opens up, and it's like a containment, basically like a drawer pops out, and I offer you a marshmallow. I got marshmallows if you want to.
Whoa. Is this a toasty marshmallow? Is this a melted marshmallow? Is this
Oh,
a gooey
it's-
marshmallow? Is this
It's stale as heck, but
is
it's
it a flavored marshmallow?
it's the normal the normal marshmallow, but it's stale, so stale.
It is. Tap, tap, tap hard.
So you just offer it. Is it a
Yeah, I
big
just
one? Is it
offer
a
it.
small one?
Well, it's about hand size, so it's a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
Good.
it's
It's a
big
muffin for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a muffin. Oh,
It's a muffin, yeah.
yeah. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Immediately take a chomp at it.
little
and
hard,
it's
little hard.
Oh, so you see just Pepper like struggling. So it's kind of like if you're eating like a really overcooked piece of meat and you're just trying to
I can just
get the meat
imagine
off
this.
the bone, like off a thick ribeye. You're just trying to pull it out. That's just what's going on with Pepper right now.
I have marshmallows if anybody likes it.
Yeah, Jay.
I'm-
Before my halo fades, because it lasts for a minute, I'm
Yeah.
gonna cast one more heal
Okay.
that affects everybody, and so everybody gets another 20 back.
Okay.
Hot dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
that is super healing.
I'm going to go ahead and because we're still like on the edge of the woods, in the woods, something
Kind of in
around.
the edge area type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just cast Speak with Animals.
Mm-hmm.
And you, like, Talico just turns and goes, we could probably find something better than that in the trail rations that we have. And he turns around and you start hearing him go
Like a squirrel.
like squirrel, and like starts just calling out for like squirrels and birds. And specifically, he's like, please bring us nuts and berries and good food. And he's trying to negotiate with any sort of woodland creatures. He negotiates with a 20 for what that's worth. With woodland creatures,
There's one or two. A squirrel.
Snacks.
Acorns, some.
Yeah, just
That's so
For
sick.
those that don't know, this is going to be an interesting. So a squirrel comes up and he's got a big pus on his face.
What?
He goes, I'm puff face. Hi. Nuts. Okay. And he kind of runs off. If you've ever, there's a callback from another charity event that happened on April 20th from friends of ours that from MTD. Pussface is a squirrel that has made an average. So
Cameo
I've adopted Pussface.
Oh,
Yes.
Aw,
So he
cute
went out, and there's a few
Pussface.
other squirrels that kind of came out, and they're grabbing some nuts. And as you're walking, they're going to be dropping some nuts and stuff like that in front of you and stuff like that. So
hello,
Taco
little
and
friends.
seeds.
thanks them, in the, speaking with them, and then starts handing out stuff, and especially making sure that Pepper, any pretty bright berries, like handing
Aw.
those to Pepper, making sure that
Pepper-
everybody's getting snacks, food, on the road trail mix, if you will.
Pepper's gonna go, while holding on to the marshmallow, and then also kind of moving the marshmallow up to like Aviro to like pass on the marshmallow to Pete.
Calico, would you mind asking your little friends if they like bees too?
If they like bees,
Yeah.
of course. I asked them if they like bees.
They're okay. Unless they attack.
They don't mind bees. They think that they're okay as long as they don't attack. Which sometimes squirrels and bees try to fight for squirrels will stumble upon bees in the same tree sometimes.
I also like bees. And I offer a marshmallow to the squirrels.
And just kind of
That's so
runs
cute.
off. They kind of run off and, gonna eat it away.
Thank you, Talico.
Always.
Thank you, little friends.
Oh, Jay, you said Ren is still unconscious.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna-
she's gonna be unconscious until you get back to the house. It's
Okay.
kind of one of those
I
things
was
where
gonna. Okay, yeah, I was just gonna ask if I could make a medicine check to see if there's anything we can do to.
Yeah, she's stabled. She's got enough hit points. She's not dying or anything like that. But yeah, it's just for her game reverie. She'll wake up when we get back to the house.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
All right.
Pepper is gonna test out her wings to see if they are still functional.
Which she has.
Which I Yeah. Still
Yes.
attached to my back.
Yes.
Okay, good. They're functional.
Yep.
I'm gonna float on over to Ren just to make sure they're okay. Assuming yes,
Mhm.
from what you just mentioned, they're okay.
Yep.
Is there any sort of like scrapes, like big bruises, gashes?
Not anymore. There was, but you were able to
Mhm.
take care of it when you in the day or two that you were with her in the
Okay.
jail cell. in the
Okay,
prison cell.
great. Pepper hugs Brynn, and then floats over and hugs Glastoc, and then to everyone else, hello. So are we safe here? Do we need to?
Oh, we're already moving. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yes,
I was walking, talking.
Yeah,
A-
I've never
as,
been to this outside area. I've just been captured and teleported here.
we
No,
we are
we're not
we're,
sticking
we're
around.
safe. We're safe, but we should still keep moving in case things decide to change.
It's
Yeah.
going to take you about 3 hours. So just after dinner time, by the time you get back to Standpoint.
The house.
Actually, no, you went in the evening time, didn't you?
Yes,
So it's going to be late. It's going to be a late night by the time you get back.
late night, early morning.
Yeah.
Are we going back to Sandpoint, or do we want to go back to the house, the Whizbang's house?
I mean, there's room at the house for everyone, and it is Ren's room.
What's closer?
You to go through Sandpoint to get to your house.
All right, then let's just go to Sandpoint then.
I am so glad that you have wings. We saw you without wings.
Oh, that's nightmarish. Who would ever think of something like this? Oh my goodness.
It was terrifying. That level of torture is not natural. It
Oh
was
my
good that
goodness.
was fake.
Yes. Oh, so excited that's fake. Oh, what would I have done without my wings? That's such a big identity piece for me.
Oh, I could help with if you didn't have wings. I am very skilled at making things, so I would make wings.
Wow, you're fascinating. Immediately, Pepper starts floating over to Goblin. What else can you make? What's inside? And it starts knocking into your body.
Why they get along so well?
Goblin turns to Talico like just his hand. Like
Usually we try to get people to ask permission before.
I apologize. I'm
no,
just so
you're-
intrigued when there's something going on. I just need to just get in there. I apologize. Yes.
Glastoc just has his head down. He's just chuckling. He's just
Power down.
Yeah.
I have arrows inside my body, so I guess that counts. Would you like an arrow? I have arrows.
Oh, no.
Okay.
But thank you so much for the marshmallow again. It was stiff but delightful.
You're welcome. And he just keeps walking.
Awesome.
Calico turns to Glastoc. Should we let the Whizbangs know that Ren is okay?
Ren is the only Whizbang left.
As far as we as far as we know, she's the only one that's alive. So
okay.
Right.
I will not send any little friends to go to the house ahead of us then. Okay.
Yes, Ren was the only one living there because it was attacked, and Gwen, which is the human barbarian, left and has not been seen. And Ren went out but got captured. And then the other Whizbang left several years prior and went to Magnamar.
Do we still have her earring that we found?
Yes.
We do?
Oh,
we should make sure Ren's earring, we don't have that.
We
didn't get that from those people that had it.
No.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's what sparked Pepper, is that she recognized the earring.
Oh no.
Yeah, you don't have that yet.
Okay.
Evil people.
Yes. So.
How'd you find me? Before I knew it, I just went to use, or I guess, follow a lead, and then immediately I just teleported into this area.
Well, let's see. a little bit of research, a little bit of luck, but we just kind of followed the we went to where it was most likely that you were, and kind of give her the background on what's the group called,
The Wrecking Crew.
The Wrecking Crew, and they matched the descriptions of last people that we saw you around, and the one that followed you into the bathroom. And while he's saying this, Glastoc's looking at Aviro like
Aviro's mage hand has a book up in front of him as he's walking, and the mage hand is holding the book up, and he's reading, and he's not listening.
So yeah, we did the best we could, and thankfully, Talico and Goblin, came to help. They're both fairly experienced at specifically Talico on tracking people down. And so,
Good. Goblin and I have spent a lot of time specifically finding people. It's kind of become a thing over the past several years.
Oh,
Yes.
what a very interesting occupation. Finding people. And thank you for finding me. And thank you so much for coming to our aid. Oh my goodness. I don't know what I was thinking following this lead by myself. Ugh.
Do you know why they took you?
No, I don't. I'm assuming I was like just lured. Yeah.
You do remember that the Blue M's were hunting you, and that Rocky had sent you that letter to get you.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
well, specifically, she followed one of them into the restroom in the inn.
Yep.
And from the looks of it, there was a fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
And and so Glastoc's like, so this is what we know. Beyond that, we don't know what happened. We didn't know what happened to you, but it was obvious that you were in a fight in the restroom. Again, the whole time he's staring at Aviro, who was actually in the next room and had no idea any of this was going on. So,
Wait, did you say that out loud?
No. It's just
Okay, cool.
we've already kind of chastised him enough about this, so he's not going to keep poking him about it.
Yes.
So what happened is that Pepper followed a priestess of Gazra into the bathroom because she noticed Ren's earring, a Gaza earring.
Mhm.
And this was a kind of a sea elfish person, a sea person. And when she got confronted, Pepper immediately shocking grasped her. And that's where you smell of electricity. And it didn't take her down, but it did a lot of damage. But what Pepper didn't know was that following her into the bathroom was one of the other Wrecking Crew members and knocked her out.
And we figured that out from, well, I think Brynn specifically figured that out from trail and tracks, right?
Because there were multiple tracks, and then but there was also a little bit of a silence, so that there wasn't a lot of noise coming from the bathroom, and that's why.
So we share all that with Pepper. So you got caught off guard. Brynn had identified that somebody else after the fact had come in there. That's when things occurred. So don't worry. You got caught off your guard, and that's why you teleported. Just
well,
thank you. Oh, if I could see that Wrecking Crew one more time.
Wait.
Oh.
Perhaps we give them a little bit of a break and not go onto their home turf anytime soon.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm absolutely famished, and I am in need of a bath and some wine and some charcuterie.
Charcuterie. Talico, what is charcuterie?
It is a placement of multiple meats, cheeses, and occasionally fruits and nuts on it as well, and then served for all to partake in, Sharon.
Oh.
It's a primary school snack plate.
Oh.
Primary school snack.
How dare you make charcuterie a snack?
Lunchable.
Like a Lunchable.
No, he's calling it a Lunchable.
Yeah, Jim. A Lunchable.
Well, that's how Aviro grew up, though, is like charcuterie trays were what they give to the primary school kids because they can all just sit around and eat off of it. That's in elven culture.
That's
But that's what they are, right? Like, they're adult Lunchables now.
Yes.
yes, yes.
Essentially, yes.
I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
yeah. Let's be real. They're like bougie Lunchables.
Yeah.
Bougie cured meats, bougie cheeses. But
It's
you-
on a wooden platter as opposed to in a little plastic.
Yeah, you
container.
could throw some grapes in there.
Yeah.
You get some like
Some fruit.
crackers.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Throw
Of course,
some
the water
wine, that makes it
crackers that
adult.
have no taste.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, that's why you put jams and honeys on them too.
Yeah.
Mm. Yo, let's get some charcuterie, y'all. Okay. Let's just make this a reality. Like, I'm tight with
Didn't
that.
we gather stuff for a charcuterie board while we were out shopping in the
We were,
in the
but I don't
town?
think we actually
We didn't actually
did
get it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because those little kids, those punky
Oh,
brats.
that's right. That's right.
Oh, but you haven't eaten our charcuterie board. How does your digestive tract work? Do you digest? Do you digest metals? I'm so curious and very much seeking enlightenment from your function.
Oh, I don't eat, but
Oh.
Talako usually explains to me what they taste like, and I can imagine how those things taste like, as if I were tasting them. Does that make sense?
Oh my goodness, Talico, your heart is exploding out of your chest. That is so beautiful that you do that for your friend here. And Pepper floats closer to a goblin, will do my best to do the same, as eating is one of the most beautiful things the world can provide us, a beautiful experience.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
Pepper, you're the smells that emanate that seem to, as you gain consciousness, do you choose that, or is that just part of your fairy nature?
Oh, yes. I am of the Fae. And then Pepper like does a cute little spin, and then hair whips her hair. Well,
this character so much.
also one of my passions is to create perfumes. So from time to time, I love combining different scents. But in terms of me personally, because of my passions and enlightenment, sometimes my mood can evoke a certain scent as well. So that's me.
So it's like you're feeling how you smell, or you
Smelling
smell-
how you feel.
Yes,
Oh.
smelling how I feel. But everyone has different senses and what they depict as something that smells good or bad. So for different people, it's picking up a little different. But that's just how my body functions.
It's very
Did I smell
cool.
awful?
No, you smelled when you were first waking up. You smelled of a natural high humidity sort of
Smell like a
scent.
swamp.
You
Okay.
I start walking around.
Pepper
in
immediately
circles.
like
Smell like a
headwinds
swamp.
with glass.
you reminded me of home. Growing up around the swamp and the forests that are the edges of the swamps, back home, which is where I first encountered the natural ones.
I appreciate your candor, and and I'm happy that that scent reminded you of home. Smelling all of you is a reminder of I'm not alone, so that's good. Oh my goodness. Speaking of scents,
I was going to say,
Can I-
Pepper, you certainly remember that Aviro and had talked about when he went back in time and was in the village of Salt Marsh. They met Talico and Goblin, and that they were that Aviro had Brynn and Glastoc had met, that they were going through searching for Aviro, and when he told you all the stories about, and you've come to realize that these are the individuals that he was talking about, that from 100 years ago, that they've been around for a while.
Oh, wow. Okay. So as like Pepper's like talking, immediately her expression changes, and it's that Ratatouille moment in the movie where
Oh my god, I love that.
I know,
love that
right?
so much.
Ugh. Where the food critic has the Ratatouille and goes gets transported back into their childhood. And immediately that was like the light bulb moment for Pepper going, immediately stopped what she was talking about with sense and goes into, oh my goodness, I remember. Pepper looks at Aviro and says, you were the people that Aviro was talking about. Oh my goodness, what is going on? This memory.
What does acknowledgement smell like to Pepper? her obvious mood
Oh,
is
man.
changing and stuff.
Yeah,
so-
it's like, you know those like shitty little mood rings that you get, and you're like, oh my god, tell your mood. And you're like, you used to shop at Hot Topic. Look at that mood ring. You're like, so you see it's like changing and stuff like that, but it's all related to like temperature. But this is not that. This is better than a Hot Topic mood
This
ring.
is better than that.
Yes. From the typical like orangey cinnamon fudge chocolate scent, the enlightenment scent smells more of like, it smells like fresh sea. So it's like a little salty, but also like very, it's like takes you up the nasal a little bit where it's very strong and sharp, but also like at the same time kind of like calming. So it's like the sea breeze and the brisk early morning where it's nice and cold. But at the same time, there's also some herbs that you get at the same time there. So like some strong basils, some mints. So it's kind of like a mint medley, but like fresh. And it's sharp. So it kind of like gets you up in there. But that's the scent experience that you're getting that evoking, like,
Hey man, you want to snort some certs?
hey man, why don't you snort these salt baths? Like, it'll make you feel so enlightened. But that's like the vibes that you're getting right now.
As Talco smells that and you get that sort of enlightened and excitement, there's a brief moment where you see him like react to it and his nose twitches a little bit. And then he kind of comes down and goes back into kind of not reacting heavily.
It comes down from their high.
Comes down from the high. Yeah, it comes down from the high. Yeah. Yes, we've been around and journeying together and separately for a number of years.
Oh.
The
So how
joints-
long have you known Aviro? Oh my goodness.
I just met Aviro. I just met Aviro.
No, that's not possible.
I
What?
met Aviro at a
At this-
party.
A very fancy soiree.
Yes. Well, and the people who were throwing it were trying to be extra fancy, which makes it less fancy. It's a weird thing. Actually, you may understand that perfectly.
Those people.
Yes.
Oh, I get it.
But Glastoc and Brynn, we met 50 plus years ago.
100.
100, yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we met over 100 years ago when I was much younger and Goblin was still exactly the same Goblin he is today.
I disagree, Talico. I believe that Goblin's gained exponentially in his knowledge factor. There's all kinds of things that he's been learning over time that he inquires about. He's a very inquisitive chap.
You're absolutely right. I did not mean any offense by that. I simply meant that Goblin does not appear to physically age.
I did die for a minute, but
You died?
I did.
Oh.
I exploded into a lot of
Oh, exploded.
yes. And then I put myself back together. It's what I do, I think. That's how my parents made me.
One of many things that he does. It's
Wow, that's
amazing.
so fascinating. Avir, did you know this? Did you take any notes when all of this was happening? We need to bring this back to Schmaltmarsh, back into the temple, so we have this as documentation.
Aviro produces like 17 sheafs of paper in a stack and hands them to you. Of course, how do you think I wouldn't spend a good portion of time interviewing this fascinating subject? He's a lovely fellow, and yes, I took notes for you. Here you are.
Oh,
And
my.
they are numbered, they are annotated, they are
Ooh,
they're
different
collated.
highlighters, like. Oh my goodness! Immediately, you all smell like something very floral. It smells like a little too overwhelmingly floral, but sweet. It's kind of like smelling spring in a way, but overwhelmingly spring.
That's good.
Wow! Oh my goodness! If you don't mind, I would love to take this back to the temple back at Smaltmarsh, just so we have an adequate copy. Obviously, I'm not going to keep your source material. I'm more than happy to have one of the temples just
That's
hand.
the copy I made for you. And he produces us an completely identical stack. Totally the same.
That
it's
overly
as
spring becomes summer.
as I was writing out my documentation, my mage hand was doing an exact copy at the same time, 18 inches to the left of me.
Oh my goodness, that is absolutely brilliant. Oh,
No.
and thank you
They're
so much. This is
slightly
overwhelmingly
singed around
amazing.
the corners, though.
They might be slightly singed.
I'll take it. Yeah. We can fix that. Oh my goodness, absolutely amazing.
I'm so glad you're pleased.
Oh, well, thank you. This is very astounding work. Of course, it's from you. How can I expect
he
a
gets
little
he
less?
gets a little blushy. Yeah.
Pepper turns off and starts looking at the pages and also gets a little blushy, but hides it from the big book.
Oh my god.
I just love the image of just seeing Pepper's wings coming out of the back of a book because the book's just that big, just being carried.
Just his wings fluttering with this book.
Yeah, pretty much.
It almost looks like the temple winged books that you encountered.
Oh no!
Almost.
Oh gosh.
But it's like the wings are on the backside, while the wings on this time are on the inside. So it's like a reverse of that.
Oh my goodness.
Aviro, can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course, Robo. Goblin.
I died. Is there a possibility that I came back differently than how I am?
Of course there's a possibility. Because we don't know exactly what happened, there's a 50% chance of everything happening. It's a bit of a paradox, actually.
Oh,
If you would like a treatise on it, I could provide one for you. I have one here in my bag that explains this type of thing completely. It is, in fact, it is Baricelli's treatise on interdimensional spontaneous reproduction.
Oh my god, it's Bretticelli's? That's absolutely astounding. That is such an amazing piece of work. I highly recommend the read. It's very dry.
It's very dry. Oh, of course. No, it's not interesting at all. However, the theory is sound, and the story he tells over this 13,400 pages is immaculate.
Yes, it also makes sense too.
Like you would think this would be so completely off, you can't even grasp it, but it's so basic. It's wonderful.
Not
Highly
to
recommend.
A flash
display
suddenly
more-
appears in front of Talico from Brynn.
A flash?
Flash.
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 A flask
Oh,
of
flash.
alcohol.
I was like, what?
Just
Flash
flashed
of
him? Like,
alcohol
what?
suddenly appears in front of Talico from
I wouldn't
Brynn.
put it past Brynn, but you know.
I know, right? Oh my goodness, do I tip? My praise?
Goblin, just to show the many amazing things that you and skills that you do have, you may want to just show Pepper your first reading of that book.
okay.
I do
And he
love a
takes
good
a-
read.
And he takes a shot and just continues walking.
Pepper clocks the look and says, "My, you're a great drinker. That's a strong first pour for yourself." Wow.
Oh man. Oh, I love pepper so much.
Oh, you guys are nice. Stop.
Talico offers Pepper Bryn's flask at this point.
I take a little swig. Oh, it tastes just strong like Brynn. Mm.
Just for my sake, how tall is Pepper? It's tall.
3 foot, 3.5 feet.
Okay. So it's not just like a tiny fairy, no.
I would
No,
say
it's not.
you're
3.5 is what I.
Yeah, we
okay.
thought you were like
Oh, like Tinkerbell? Oh no.
No, you're a little
Oh.
bit bigger than. I want to say you're like 1.5 feet.
Am I?
Very wise, yeah.
Sure. Yeah, 1.5 feet. Let's go.
Okay. Oh, geez. All right. I always imagined you like a tiny fairy, but I don't know if you were like a
Oh, I
different
get
type
that
of
a
fairy.
lot. Tiny, big personality. Normal.
I like this person, and I like you all, and I would offer marshmallows to everybody, but I only have one.
We appreciate the gesture, though.
Wow,
You're
thank
welcome.
you. And the first marshmallow was delightful. It did. I have some notes.
Oh my god!
But we can also take care of that and fix it when we go back into town. We can just soak it in some water. Make it a little puffier. We can put some scorch marks on the top.
Oh, okay. I would appreciate those notes. Thank you.
Talico's going to use animal messenger. We're staying at an inn, right? Or we're staying at a place that
You were staying at
hasn't-
the Rusty Dragon. All of the
Okay.
Pepper, and Talico and Goblin were all staying at the Rusty Dragon. But there's plenty of room at the Whiz Bang, the house that the natural ones are staying at. And
It
Pepper
makes sense
actually
that
was
we would.
staying
It's
there
only
too.
what is it? Only 15 minutes out of town.
It's 50, yeah, exactly. 15 minutes out of
Yeah,
town.
it's nearby.
We might as well
Sorry,
just
I
go
thought
there.
it was farther away than
Oh
that.
no,
Yeah, never mind then.
No.
I was going to send an animal messenger to wake up the innkeeper and have
Oh no,
dinner
it's
ready for us. But if we're heading to the-
Sebastian's still up. Definitely.
Damn,
Or we could stop and
Sebastian?
eat. We could stop and eat. I wouldn't say no to a hot meal that we
Yeah.
didn't have to prepare for ourselves.
Ooh,
I
that sounds great.
I kind of bang the so Talico being well, aside from just being an elf, I realize I didn't describe what he looks like to you. But he has a staff that looks like it has like a perch or a landing thing on top of it. And he taps it down and pulls some of the berries that some of the squirrels brought. And he looks up and an owl comes flying down since it's night, and he feeds the berries to the owl and he starts whispering to it. And the owl will fly away and carry the messenger to Sebastian to have dinner ready in a certain amount of time.
Okay.
As we come up.
That's
for
awesome.
all
That
of
is so sick. Oh my god, that's
Yep.
so sick.
All right.
The spell is called Hedwig.
Owl messenger.
Like I said, you're going to get back probably closer to 12:30ish. By that time it's dark out, but you've got some light and some of you can see in the dark. So, like I said, you're on the trail, you're making your way back and you see the lights of Sandpoint. Some of them are dimmed because of, most people are asleep by now, but the taverns are going. So there's definitely light that you can see from a distance, and you get through the main guard. The main doors are shut, and there's a guard right there of militia. You get stopped and questioned, but then you basically Adventurers Guild. They open up the door and let you in, and then they shut the door again. Which, like I said, this is a walled gate on this side. The other side there isn't. So it's very unique when it comes to this road. But as you're kind of making your way, you're walking through the main part of the city, and the Rusty Dragon's at the end of the city on the way out towards the housing and stuff like that. But as you're making your way down and you stop at the Rusty Dragon, the door opens. There's a handful. There's like 4 or 5, maybe are still. There's a few like one person's passed out. there's a few adventurers that are still drinking up and haven't. There's two people kind of two wizards are talking in the corner. They're drunk, but they're having a magical arcane debate, and about
Aviro
who was
eavesdrops.
what's that?
Pepper eavesdrops.
Aviro eavesdrops.
Like who's the better
For also
wizard?
eavesdrops.
Who is the and then throwing in some red wizard and then the white and then talking about the academies and then the runes and studying and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of different kind of and it's they are just off the wall in conversations, and because they're just scattered, so like they'll hit a topic and they immediately go to another topic, and it's just one of those things. And there's food waiting for you as Sebastian's there.
Pepper whispers. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Pepper whispers over to Aviro and goes, they're just magic measuring. They can't even keep on one topic.
Oh, tell me about it. Just pick a topic and stay there. Enjoy the ride. Don't just flit about willy-nilly. Jay, can I make a lore academia roll to see are these guys any good, or are these guys
I'm
like
not even gonna
lame
make
sauce?
your roll. They're okay.
Okay.
They're not high level wizards, but they think they are.
Hero's gonna bust into the conversations and tell them where they're wrong and stuff.
And there is a slight conversation about wands and the better make of wands and length of wands and shape of wands.
Oh, see, they're so wrong. They think the larger the wand, the better you are. Like they have something to prove.
It's not always about the wand size. It's how you use it. And also,
Exactly.
it doesn't have to be a wand. It can be whatever arcane
It can
focus you
be
choose.
anything you want.
Exactly.
Anything. It could be a hollowed out walnut shell. Anything, whatever.
I find mistletoe works better than empty walnut shells, personally.
Sure.
What is your take on the difference between those two? And then takes a drink of the flask and keeps walking.
Well, obviously, if you look at the walnut shell, the chemical makeup and the cellular structure act as a vibrating source for the arcane energies to pass through. Now, as you know, the walnut cellular structure is hexagonal in design, whereas with the mistletoe, it is a completely different entity. If you look up what the specific genus and species are, you will see that they're entirely on the opposite sides of the flora spectrum.
And not only that, it also changes the potency if it is a little drier, but it also depends on the type of arcane magic you use. So,
I thought that was implied. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's all good. I just don't know how.
Oh my god, that's true.
But you're absolutely so right.
Talico passes the flask back to Brynn.
I gotta interrupt on this one moment for her. Season 2. When we introduced Robo and Joshua for the first time to the game, and we were doing season 2, both Jim and Carrie were like, "We got to get Aviro and Goblin together; it would be hilarious." And then there was a comment when Pepper and Aviro were talking. It was one of those situations like, if there's gonna be, it's gonna be one of those like triangles of conversations. And that moment is here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm loving it. Thank you.
Like, for example, it looks like you have a lot of nature aspects of then where you draw your arcane magic. But if you have a dried kind of genus of flora or fauna or any sort of plants like that you deserve, then that means that you can draw more of the potency. And because you have that type of arcane magic, you can also input a lot of your potency to create this to be more lively.
Exactly.
But that's why this conversation, these people are not making sense. They're just magic measuring. They just don't understand.
Yeah, one's a braggart and the other thinks he's a braggart. But the one that's actually the braggart really doesn't have the chutzpah to back it up. He doesn't have the goods. He clearly studied Makcha. Clearly studied Makcha.
Oh, I can see that. Yes, Makcha for sure.
Right.
But I do hope they learn. I do hope they learn more. So if they ever come to the library, is that what I should do? I should promote the library in order for them to understand, so they can stop. This.
So that they can be correct.
They can be better, a better version
There
of
could be
themselves.
a better versions of themselves. We should probably
Yes.
go tell them. Come on.
I think we should. Let's go. And
So
immediately
they get it.
Pepper starts
So-
like flying over.
Talico tries to grab Aviro by the arm to
Yeah,
like
that-
keep dragging. Like, no, I've already sent ahead for dinner. You don't want it to
And
be
the
cold,
dinner's
do
actually
you?
here.
Oh.
we're,
Oh.
yeah, we're at the inn.
We're
Yeah,
at the
this
inn,
is-
yeah.
okay,
once we
sorry.
get there, yeah. So while them are off gabbing to these little group of wizards,
Have you heard
and
about the
stuff,
Temple of Gosra?
and we're sitting down. Glastoc's going to get serious, specifically with Alico and Goblin, and Bryn's there going to be there too.
Yep.
And I know Brynn would probably agree with him. He goes, "Okay, look, let's eat here. When we retire to our rooms, in case anybody has followed us or there is anybody here who could be potentially spying on us, let us sneak out and go to the Whizbang's house and stay there instead. If we make them think that we're here, that'll give us, that if we're, if they don't find us here, they're going to think that that's probably where we went, but we'll have bought some time to rest up a little bit more, we can kind of control our surroundings a little bit better there, I think, than we can here."
No, that makes sense. If we find that we are being followed, if we suspect it, I can help make sure that they lose our trail as needed as well. I still have some tricks in my pocket to pull out.
Yeah,
I can keep vigilant, so that could help.
Yeah,
Very much so.
I don't trust, especially like here where we're going to be more separated into different rooms, and we can't control how people come in and out of the tavern, but we can lock doors, do stuff like that at the Whizbang's house. We can definitely protect ourselves a little bit better there.
It also allows us to protect Rin better as well.
Yeah, as she's recovering. So
Yeah.
Glastoc, when you have a chance, may I have a word?
of course.
Alico will look at Brand and go, "Another drink," and
Oh,
they'll
yes.
take their leave.
I noticed that you have divine magic as well as arcane magic.
I actually don't have any arcane magic. All of my magic is divine.
Oh, my apologies.
No,
I thought there was a difference.
it's my abilities come naturally as opposed to, say, Aviro or maybe even Pepper to a certain extent where it's studied. With me, it just happens.
Oh, okay. Do you worship a specific deity?
My family does worship a specific deity, but my power is not derived that way. It's literally an innate ability that I was born with.
Oh, okay. Have you ever brought somebody back to life?
I can bring somebody back from the brink of death, but I don't currently possess the ability to bring someone back from the dead.
And when you do, well, if um, okay, thank you. I just have a lot of questions about what
No,
happened to me.
that's okay. Well, maybe I can answer them. Um,
Well, as I mentioned before, I died for a minute, and all my functions ceased. And then one of my friends brought me back to life. But I only put myself back together, and then I feel different.
Different in what way?
I don't know if I feel the same as I did before. I feel like something is missing, but I also feel like something is there feeling that. Does that make sense? Like I have something new.
When you
And
say
normally, I'm sorry.
no. Well, when you say you have something new, you mean you have new abilities, or you have
Yes,
like
I came back feeling as if I was another person. But then I started thinking and I realized that I'm the same person. However, I have new abilities that I've never had before.
have you ever heard the term reincarnation?
No.
So Talico may be able to explain it better than I can. It's not something that is well known within dwarven culture, but because of my travels and because of trying to learn about I hate to call it a condition at this point, but that was the term that was referred to when I was young, is reincarnation is when you come back as a different being from death. And it could take on the semblance of as a different creature. So, for example, you could come back as like, and you can tell Glastoc's not liking the way that he's going to say this, but let's say Aviro died and he's an elf.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance that if he was reincarnated, he could come back as something other than an elf, which would mean he would have new abilities. So let's say he comes back as a pixie, like Averill is. He would lose some of those elven qualities, but he would gain those pixie qualities. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm with
Okay.
you so far.
Okay. Now you being a non-traditional living creature, since you don't breathe, you don't eat, you don't think, but you have life, you could theoretically come back as a dwarf, a human, a another type of creature. You could come back as a woodland creature. I'm sure Talico would love that.
Oh, she lights up.
Um,
Oh yeah, you got to explain your lights to Pepper.
Yeah. Whenever he's getting something new, or normally he has teal eyes that is just flashing lights, but when he explains his emotions in like different colors of my eyes turn different colors.
Oh my god, that's so much better than a mood ring. That's
Well,
yeah. You have smells, he has colors.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So I'm not explaining this well, but I'm doing the best I can with what I understand it. So perhaps that is kind of what's happened with you, is that you've come back as yourself, but with some new abilities.
Oh, would make sense. I do like that term, reincarnation. I imagine if I came back as a dwarf, I could taste and smell.
Yes, you could.
That is fascinating. I like myself as how I am. But imagining that I would have those abilities too, I would be even more fascinating. I appreciate that, Glastoc. You are wrong. You are very good at explaining things.
I try. I'm not as verbose as my elvish friend is, but I'm more direct and to the point. But I try to make it make sense, if for lack of a better term.
It does make sense. Thank you. What is
I
that
would-
taste for? I mean, what does that taste like?
What does what taste like?
The food that you're eating, the dinner that you're eating.
Oh, I don't know. What did we get served, Jay?
Chicken, some legs, some carrots, veggies, a salad. You're gonna have some greens. There's gonna be a sweet potato.
Oh, okay.
Probably bread.
Yeah, bread.
Yeah.
Yep.
A roll.
Yep.
You know, it's a warm, satisfying taste.
Yeah.
You know, and because of the way items are cooked and the way that they're spiced, you can have the same item many different ways and enjoy it just as much as one over the other. You know, and if something doesn't taste the way that you like, and Glastoc grabs salt and just starts pouring it on the chicken, you can always add more salt. And he just
Fascinating. And then his eyes dim a little bit, like almost going out, and then they turn green, and then again they turn back into normal looking teal. And Talico would know that that is when I created a new core memory.
That's so freaking awesome. Oh my god. Love it.
And Goblin would just remember warm and satisfying, and that is how he remembers the core memory that he just created with Glastoc. Thank you, Glastoc. I hope you enjoyed your meal.
Well, thank you. I wish you could enjoy it with me.
Someday I might.
I look forward to that, my friend.
So do I.
And then
Talico and
Glastoc just
Brynn
goes
come
back to
back to the
eating.
table around this time. And all you can hear is the wizards that Pepper. Oh, really? Oh, yes. The next time we're in Schmaltmarsh, we will come to the temple. That sounds amazing. Do they have a copy, a copy mate there as well?
Oh yes, they do for sure.
I've only heard of one such a person's abilities. I'm so intrigued.
Yes, and if you would like to learn it, you can definitely go and partake in that exercise as well. You would need to speak to Claire Cadnish.
Thank you so much. And he kind of looks over. It's a pleasure as the drunk one starts to come in. And he was like, my friend's a little intoxicated.
Oh, it's okay. He can dream about it.
Mm-hmm. Thanks again.
Yes,
No,
of course.
thank you. You're doing the world a service. Trust us.
Yes, absolutely.
Prestidigitation sparkles and says, yeah.
All right, well, enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Oh, food! Immediately.
Oh, yes.
Flutters over.
They were very
She's
nice,
got
actually,
wings.
in the end.
And as you're walking away, you hear, she's got wings. Yeah, I think it's a pixie type person. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh, God.
I wish I had an enlarge spell.
Oh, gosh. Cool. Everyone's fantasy is what it is. Normal.
And you sit down, you're enjoying. Ren is there too with you, but she is definitely she's sleeping.
Knocked out?
She's
no.
out. Actually, because you're sitting, she's woken up and she's actually getting some food. So she's woken up at this time. You've been able to stabilize her, and she's very tired. She's very quiet, but she's finally getting some food because she hasn't really had food in a while. So she's definitely, getting some of the food. She's very, very happy to see Pepper and very, very excited at that. And then kind of gets that introduction to everyone while the hour kind of comes. And it's like, okay. And the thought of, are we going home? When are we going home type situation?
I believe after this, right? From what we discussed on the travels over to Sandpoint.
Yeah, when Aviro and Pepper come back to the table, we'll kind of clue them in on what we talked about doing.
Okay.
Trying to keep it low key. So it's basically, we're going to eat, we're going to retire to our rooms, and then we're plugging out of here.
So
like, through windows,
Aviro,
any way
Glastoc, and
we can
Brynn,
get
their
outside.
rooms are in the whiz bangs.
Yeah, we don't have rooms here.
We don't have rooms here.
I thought we did.
Bangs. Only
Well, we are.
And Goblin have rooms here.
I guess we'll have to act like we're getting rooms here.
Or could we just sneak out the back? Like y'all can come to our room, whoever's on the lowest of the floors, and then we just sneak out the window and head out that way.
Yeah. Any way that we can make it look like we're retiring here. But
you're all going back to the room for a meeting or something along those lines. You get out the window, and you make your way back to the Whizbang's house.
Okay.
Ooh, before we do that, can I? Pepper says, "I'd very much like to see the restroom before we go."
Brynn goes
battle
with you.
Scene.
Pretty much, yeah.
Brynn goes with you.
Oh, Brynn goes with me. Okay. Do I?
She's not letting you go in there by yourself.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Buddy system. Do I see the aftermath?
It's been cleaned up, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some scorch marks.
Yeah, there's a little bit of scorch marks that hasn't been repaired yet, but
yeah, Pepper just scans the room and analyzes kind of what happened from what she's been told, and just kind of puts a 2 and 2 together. Gets a little frustrated, and then just kind of takes everything in and turns around and just floats off, taking feedback to themselves on what they could have done better.
Brynn doesn't say anything. She's just kind of like, okay, yep, self.
I imagine that.
Yep. So
yeah, I imagine that for sure.
But all of you get back, and then, like I said, you go to the rooms, sneak out the window, and as you're kind of heading back up. So when Jeff gets back too, but I need has Talico and Goblin been to this house before? I don't think you have you?
No.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, so you haven't been to this house before. I need Pepper, Glastoc, Aviro, and Brynn, and I'll roll for Brynn. I need a perception check, please.
Okay. Okay. Not bad.
Perception check from all of us, Jay?
Yeah, each of you, I need a perception check.
All right, 31.
Wow.
22.
2. All right. Brynn got a good 20-something based off the roll. So Ren got a nat 20.
Damn.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to count that as me at getting a nat 20. So, and with the third, and we'll wait for Aviro when Aviro gets, or Jeff gets back too. But Jeff, I need a perception check, Jeff. I need Aviro's perception check.
Is it for initiative?
No, it is not.
Mark me down for a nat 1.
Awesome.
Which is a 15.
Woo!
Which is a 15, but mark me down for a nat 1.
Okay. Ren and Pepper realize this. The statue that's in the garden that's normally there isn't.
What? Okay.
There's always been a statue in the garden in the
Yeah.
front. It's not there. Pepper and Ren know that there's one statue there. And it's not there anymore.
All right.
As you're walking up to the front door.
I immediately put my toned arms out and look at everyone and say, "Wait,
Ren looks at you. You notice that too, don't you?
the statue's missing."
The statue's missing.
What statue?
There was a statue there before, and now it's gone. Remember that night with the little boys, or the trickery that was happening? There was a statue there, but that statue is gone.
Hey, you're right.
Aviro,
Statue
you
is
remember that
gone.
there were 2 statues there.
There were 2 statues there.
2.
And Glass,
they're both
there were
gone?
2 statues. To your knowledge, there were 2 statues there at one time.
There were.
Calico's going to go. Calico looks at Goblin and goes, let's see if there's any footprints or anything, tracks or anything.
Ren, you don't happen to have gargoyle statues? No.
The statues that were here when we moved in. They've always been here.
Did you enchant
Always
them? Were they
been.
enchanted? Is there
No,
a manual?
years. It's the same statue that's been there for years.
Is there a manual? Is there a manual on statues? Yes.
It could be this is how you take care of your statue manual.
Exactly.
Don't leave out
You
in
could
the
be pulling a
rain.
prank, Take the statue away, add some more, make you go crazy.
Can I go do an investigation or a perception over there to see,
Yeah.
is there rubble on the ground? Does it look like it was smashed? And
I'm not going to make you roll. There is no rubble. There is no footprint.
Is it smooth?
The base that they were standing on, it's
Mhm.
smooth.
Totally smooth.
Totally smooth.
What?
Do you
As
know
if
what?
the statues just disappeared.
Calico reaches out and
Yeah.
feels to see if there's anything there.
Yes. Not my hands, but Talico's hands.
Not me, him.
I love what you're doing. I'm not partaking.
Yes, you touch something invisible.
Ooh.
But the statue feels like does it feel like stone?
Yeah, it feels like stone.
Okay.
Like the statue's been turned
Okay.
invisible.
The statues looks like it's just turned invisible. Somebody is playing a prank.
I cast Dispel Magic.
Roll, please.
What do
You're
I
gonna
roll?
roll your it's a d20 plus your level. So what is your casting level? Or your trying to remember how that goes again.
My arcane DC is a 26.
So you
plus-
add 16 to your roll.
So just a D20 plus.
Yep. D plus 16.
What's 8 plus 16, math people?
24.
24.
It does not disappear.
It
Doesn't disappear or doesn't appear.
Or excuse me, it does not appear.
Okay.
You were not high enough in your magical dispersion of dispel magic.
Rat.
What?
It's because I'm so tired. I haven't slept since I've been in the middle of a volcano and
Performance
on
issues.
fire. Having performance issues.
Happens to the best of us.
All right. Well, that's my idea.
Pepper looks to Ren. We've stayed here a few times, and thank you so much for having us without you knowing when we were looking for you. But
Your family, Ren's like, you know, that's fine.
Have there been multiple pranks just kind of happening at your house, at the Whizbangs HQ?
Yeah,
Oh, so this is a normal occurrence.
not too normal. It comes and goes.
Do you know who does this? Is it those kids?
Possibly.
Okay. Do you joke with them back?
No, we just let them. We were investigating, but we never found anything. And it was just me. It pissed Gwen off a lot.
Oh, well, that
she
makes
could never
more
find
sense.
them.
Interesting.
Oh.
Oh, I just wonder if we want to lay some random, unharmful traps, but that's just my thinking.
I just want my bed.
Random
We can perhaps discuss laying of playful prank traps tomorrow after we've all had a chance to rest.
Yes, I agree. I am in desperate need of a bath.
Oh, you're speaking my language.
And in the wee hours of the morning, as everyone gets into the house, Ren goes to her room. Goblin, are you relaxing pretty much on guard, or what is your plan for the evening?
Yeah, I would say that I would probably stay vigilant. I don't know how automatons work in Pathfinder, but I don't know if they're asleep or not.
I
don't believe it.
I don't think so. They need it.
I don't believe they require rest. Yeah.
But so
Okay.
yeah, the evening you kind of staying on watch. Glastoc is in one of the guest rooms. Brynn is one of the guest rooms. Aviro has taken one of the other rooms. And Ren doesn't have a problem with this at all. And she's already mentioned to you that she's like, you know what? She's had some conversations with Sebastian, and that she's 100% okay with this because she kind of lets out that she's leaving soon anyways, and Sebastian was going to repurpose the house. And she gave ownership to Sebastian last month. And so she's moving, she wants to move back. After this experience has given her the specific reason to move back to Schmaltmarsh because everyone is gone and she doesn't know where Gwen is, and Dalian abandoned us. So, you know, it's just she wants to go back to the temple in Schmaltmarsh to kind of get back to what she needs and then figure out where Gwen is. But she needs to rest before she kind of does that.
Real quick.
Yeah.
So, Robo automatons in Pathfinder, you basically shut down for 2 hours, and that's your rest.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's awesome.
But you're conscious and aware of your surroundings and stuff, so you're not asleep per se.
Mhm.
But you do have to rest for those 2 hours. So
Okay.
Kind of like
You're a
sleep mode on your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Like if you move the mouse, it like powers on.
it's basically
Yeah.
in a they call it a standby state for 2 hours. But you're aware of your surroundings and you don't take penalties for being unconscious. So
Okay. So yeah, I'll stay the same.
Mhm.
It kind of looks like I'm awake, but I'm really like
Okay.
hibernating.
the
Calico,
lights go off.
yeah. Calico, there's a makeshift
Love
room
it.
downstairs for you that Timon was actually staying in as well. And one of the rooms was kind of converted. The study was kind of converted into a makeshift bedroom type stuff. So it's got a bed stuff.
I'll actually grab. So, how big is the house?
This is
like
a mansion. It's got
Yeah,
a
so-
foyer.
It's
It's got
huge.
multiple rooms. It is a large
Go up,
house.
So
go up to the
Goblin-
conservatory.
So
all the
Goblin,
plants.
if Goblins are like at the front,
Yeah.
Talico's actually going to take all the blankets and the pillows and stuff and just drag off of the makeshift bed.
Okay.
And he's just going to make a little like pallet nest by the back door.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that
There's the
somebody
kitchen.
comes
There's the
through
back
the-
door. Yeah. No
Yeah,
problem.
if they come through the back door, like it's they open it up and they're nudging Talico awake if they want to come through
The
the door.
door is in the kitchen. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talico's
Ooh.
sleeping in the kitchen.
All right.
Do you turn into like a cat? Do you sleep like as a cat and you're like
Do you do the walk around?
It would probably be more like a dire wolf at this point with what he
Oh.
does. Like he turns
Yeah.
into just a big old wolf and does the rotation.
Just like a dog. Yeah.
And then just like flops over,
Mhm.
Oh my god.
runs a
Jay.
little bit in his sleep occasionally.
Yes.
I love it. Wait, so the last time we were, or at least Pepper was in the Whiz-Bang's room,
Mhm.
they were she was decorating for the festivities.
Yes.
Is
Those
the
are still
missiles
up.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So if I recall too, I got to double check. There is, so the manor is.
Yeah, there's a mistletoe above the doorway of the kitchen.
Yes,
Talico.
there is. So here's the question. So one of the things is, Aviro, you have a bath in your room. Ren has a bath in her room.
Yes.
Is Pepper using Ren's bath in her room?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's the one I used before.
Yes. Okay. Give me a D20.
Ooh.
Roll me a D. Actually, Avira, roll me a D20 too. Both of you roll me a D20. And if you get a 1, 2, or 3, something bad happens.
I did not get a 1, 2, or a 3.
I got 17.
Yep, no problems. Okay, yeah, they're fully functioning. No issues.
A bath?
Yeah, the water and everything else. The bath is working. Yep. Okay.
Awesome. It's nice and
It's
like
nice and warm.
hot.
You got your bubbles.
Mm.
Yeah, if you want them. But yeah, you're smelling salts. Your everything. Yep. You're
Smelling salts.
Yeah.
These are her own smelling salts.
Yeah,
Epsom
so my bath salts.
Yeah, your bath
my,
salts,
like,
everything. Yeah, you are relaxed. Definitely is in the evening. You actually don't fall asleep in the bathtub. That was one of the part. But yeah,
rubbing my wings.
Yep. You get your cleaning
them.
Is out. But yeah, so the next night, everyone sleeps, relaxes, heals. The morning comes, the sun rises, and breakfast in the morning. Talico, you notice that the statue's there. It's not invisible anymore. Everyone sees it. It's the same statue.
New to Pepper, whenever you see me walking around like waking up with the staff leaning beside me, whereas before it was a obviously some form of magical staff on it, that now it has a rock looking, like a granite looking bird that looks like a crow that's perched on top of it.
That's sick.
On top of the staff that you don't remember being there previously. So we prepare breakfast and I point out that the statues are back.
The
I
statue.
point at your stick.
The statues.
Point at your staff.
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I had lost my companion yesterday, but I'm fortunate enough, and I tap it on the ground once, and the bird comes to life and starts hopping around. And you see that it immediately like looks around, and if Brynn is in the room, immediately flies over and lands on Brynn's head, and like starts looking around. No, Brynn's not there yet. Okay,
Not yet. She's sleeping.
Okay.
She's not getting up.
But the starts just kind of like looking around and is probably looking for breakfast. So,
If it's looking for breakfast, maybe we can make something real quick.
that's a good idea. I'm sure after rest we probably still, I know we ate dinner late last night, but preparing breakfast for everybody as they wake up would be useful.
Man, what kind of ingredients I got?
They actually did some good shopping. So You actually, yeah, you did some
Yeah,
shopping
there's-
because
Yeah.
it's only been
The
like 2 days
charcuterie
since
shopping?
you've been gone. There's a charcuterie shopping. Yes.
Oh, let's go. All right. So, Pepper gets in there, opening up the ice box, cutting up the cured meats, like preparing very much a big charcuterie board, a big coochie board, if you don't mind me saying.
Coochie board.
Making sure that there's honeys and jams and grapes and 3 different kinds of like cured meats, so like salami, prosciutto, all that fun stuff, and also like different types of cheeses. So like a soft cheese, like a brie, like a harder cheese, kind of like a goat cheese, and like a medium cheese, kind of like a Swiss cheese. And I lay the assortment out in the middle, and then I like go and find some juice if there's some juice. Cool. And then I go and find some champagne if there's some champagne.
There's 1 bottle left.
There's 1 bottle left. Hey. And then I go and grab both juices and champagne and put it on the table as well, and just lay out the flutes if there's any champagne flutes in the whiz bang house. All right, I mean,
this was a party house. So yes. You know,
and you see Talico as he's moving around and he realizes what you're putting together. He goes almost immediately going, well, most people usually put their stuff here and this is what we need. And I know that we're not going to use them, but we need these forks here. And like this sort of druidic person suddenly knows way more about highfalutin mansion parties than like you think should be reasonable.
Got it. And at that same time, I'm like clocking it. Because it sounds like we're going to the same parties. And I go, oh my goodness, it sounds like you have really excellent experience with etiquette.
I have excellent experience in all layers of society. Being part of the urban community and nature as it interacts with nature means I need to be able to interact with all layers, just as those in nature need to be able to deal with woods, desert, swamps, anything. I do the same inside of urban society.
Sounds absolutely astounding. It's not too far from what I do as well. I mean, I spend all of my time in the library and all research and knowledge, but we do dabble in various societies of all sorts.
That is fantastic. Do you get to go to the dive bars with Brynn and stuff? Have you?
I mean, absolutely.
You go to the dive bars with Brynn.
Yes, I definitely go to the dive bars with Brynn.
So with that, we are going to a break. 1 second. It worked. Hello, everyone. We are back.
Look at that.
Wow.
Whoa, where do I look?
There are so many people here. Oh my gosh. Look at all these wonderful, wonderful people. As you can see, I've got a little bit of a different overlay because I had to put something together because we've got so many people. Welcome, Carrie. I'm glad you can join me.
Hello. Thank you for this.
Oh no, and basically Brynn has been just watching and taking care of Ren and just watching the magic happen.
Drinking.
Oh, great,
and
perfect.
drinking.
I'm here and drinking, obviously.
And
so we went to the bathroom together.
Great.
And she flashed Talico.
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
That's if I had a nickel. Anyway.
I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happened twice.
So we're picking up in the morning and it's breakfast time. Brynn has not come down yet because she did some heavy drinking and she didn't get to bed until very late.
Aviro also has not come down yet.
Yeah.
Pepper's continuing with Talico to set up the charcuterie board and the juice and champagne or mimosa wagon.
Knew Carrie would get excited about the charcuterie board.
We've talked about it so
finally
much. It's finally happening. It better happen, Jay. But yes, setting up the table for the lovely cured meats, the coochie boards, and the mimosas. If one would like to partake in mimosa. Most time.
Not so good though.
Goblin playing a character that can't taste.
I know, right? We're like, damn, that sounds amazing right now.
I did this to myself.
Talico spends like some of the time as like talking with Goblin, like, okay, and whenever you blend these two things together, here's the kind of taste effect. So you really like the crackers when they don't have a taste themselves. You add this jam and it changes the texture and that changes the taste.
But the crackers add the crunch factor because of the different textures that you mix together. So it's not all just one texture. You're tasting a medley of different textures, and the crunch texture is one of my favorites. So
Fascinating. I didn't know that it creates so many wonderful combinations.
yes, it's very much a dynamic experience.
And Avira's not here, right?
Not yet.
Correct. Aviro's not here.
Okay.
The one
The
thing
Glastoc is here?
Glastoc is
Glastoc,
there.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
One
would be
thing I
there,
would
yeah.
like to share with Brynn is that when you came home at like 2:00 in the morning with everyone, the statue in the garden was not there. It was nothing. And Aviro and Glastoc, and you remember that there were originally 2 statues there, but Ren and Pepper are like, there's no statue. There's only one statue. And then Talico went up and put his hand where the statue would be, and it was invisible. So he felt the statue, but it was invisible.
Invisible.
Aviro tried to dispel magic, and it didn't work.
So it's there, but it's invisible.
It's invisible. The next morning, the statue is now visible. But it was
kind of
invisible at one
fuckery
point.
is this? Okay. I think Brynn would eventually wake up. Probably. And I think she's on her way downstairs. Does she notice that Aviro's door is closed? Does he sleep like
Yes.
on the same? Okay, perfect.
FYI, there's still the mistletoe from the last time I put it there. Just
Uh-huh.
gonna throw that out there.
Brynn would, if there's a way to kind of like take it and like move it off to the side so she's not directly under it, she would. And so she like knocks on Aviro's door pretty hard because she knows he's a heavy sleeper.
No answer.
Oh my god. So Brynn would just because, whatever. Brynn would just like burst open the door. Is it locked?
Probably not.
Okay, good. Perfect. She opens the door in a civilized manner and she comes in. She's like, Aviro,
No
time for
answer.
breakfast.
No answer.
Is he in
And
the
I
bed
like,
or in the tub?
Oh, he's in the bed. No,
Okay.
yeah, he's in the bed in his pajamas. He's on his side.
I would go over to the bed and classic, I would flip the mattress with Aviro on it. Aviro, wake up. If I know Pepper, there's probably a charcuterie board and a mimosa bar down there.
Oh, you know her so well.
Probably.
Hmm.
Aviro, wake up. It's
What?
time for mimosas.
What's a mimosa?
Oh, come with me immediately.
Does she like drag him?
Yes, 100%. Yes, 100%.
Down the stairs.
Yeah. Boom, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Let's go. Going to be juices and alcohol. And I eventually round the corner and frickin'
With an Aviro, a rumpled Aviro behind you.
Good morning.
good morning, everybody.
Pepper
Hmm.
beams. Morning.
Good morning. We are all in the land of the living, and it is a wonderful and new day. Is that a charcuterie board?
Oh yes, I prepared it just for everyone. We have some cured meats. We have various cheeses.
I whap
different,
Aviro on the chest. I'm like, what did I say? What did I say? And I go over and start
Mimosa.
fixing
You said
myself.
mimosa. I remember you
yes.
said mimosa.
Peppa, why don't you tell Aviro what a mimosa is? I'm sure she could explain it better than me.
Oh, yes. So this is a juice, and this is a champagne, and immediately Pepper starts uncorking and pops open the bottle expertly, and then pours the combination of the mimosa and the juice, but more.
I would
Sorry,
like to. I would like to point
champagne.
out, Pepper is using like both her entire hand. Isn't even like
And thighs.
yeah.
It's
Because
wrong.
the bottle is
Wrong
almost as big as
tone
she
thighs.
is, and she's just like.
Strong toned thighs and
Beach body. Ready for summer.
hey man, we don't skip leg day. I may
Oh,
use my
hell
wings,
no.
but I know my legs are used for a lot of other things as well.
Oh my god, incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
What? Walking? What are y'all thinking
Excuse
about?
me.
You're a
Wings.
pixie. You don't walk. You fly.
I mean, I don't skip leg day, okay? It takes a lot to make sure this is operating properly.
Pepper takes care of herself. That's good.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Could probably do
Calico-
better.
Brynn missed the whole wand conversation. That
Oh, the wand measure. Oh yeah, the magic measuring.
Wand measuring contest.
yeah.
I was like magic measuring. I was like, yeah. I
Amazing. Brynn is just like eating jam and cheese and cracker together and just kind of like Brynn seems to just be like enjoying the company, and it's like everybody's here, and like she's like seems more calm than she like ever is.
And Ren is here too, and she's eating quiet, but she's eating.
You see Pepper like put like the cracker and like the jam. It's a rose jam, and we put some like spicy
Like a pepper jelly.
like oh no, let's just say like a how would you say a soppressata? That's like it's like a spicy cured meat on top of the rose jam, and then you put some of that brie on top of there, and then cuts a grape in half and puts that on top of there. And then floats
God.
that over. I know.
That's
She made-
a lot of work.
She makes dual. I
Glastoc
do that in real life.
And
She makes a
Glastoc's
dual.
like
floats
a
Ren-
piece of bread that he could slap some meat on and make a sandwich. And just,
Oh, God. You
Calico.
gotta have like a 4D experience with a charcuterie board.
Exactly.
yeah.
And
So-
No.
you notice Calico is like nervous about something, and he's got something to say.
Yeah. So Talico kind of looks and goes, there seems to be a theme with the natural ones. And I know that I've given you those coins in the past, but they don't seem to have the power that I was hoping that they would. If you would be open to the idea, I would love to try to better bond the group of you with our associates that we have here, to be able to help you understand each other and find each other better as the need arises.
What
I'm all.
What kind of need?
what kind of
Perhaps
understanding? Maybe there's
perhaps
so-
somebody disappearing in the bathroom and not knowing where they went, or
You can talk about me. It's okay.
Well-
right here.
I just went through a terrible experience
right
of torture.
here.
And he just,
You're not
you
the-
know,
unfortunately, my true hesitation with this, to be honest, is that there is a ceremony that I can provide to help provide a bonding of people. What it would mean, Brynn, is that if it is successful, that you would know the distance and direction of your compatriots at all time.
can I
It
like turn it
also-
off? Can I like
it-
like non-roaming features?
I
Airplane
don't
mode.
I want to turn off share location.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't know if you're able to turn it off because you're the first person to ask, but I've never heard of anybody turning it off. So if you want to opt out of it, I understand. It doesn't
There's a
have to be
form.
all of you.
Check this box.
No.
Would you like your cookies to be shared amongst?
Brynn kind of looks hesitant.
When I am successful, then everybody knows, the people who are being bonded know the direction and distance, as well as any conditions and kind of health status of everybody else who is part of the bond. If exceptionally successful in the bond is true, it also allows them to be able to communicate via a form of long distance telepathy, very similar to the divine message, like sending divine messages to each other.
Do you, in this bonding experience, I'm open to it, but would like to learn more. Do you get people's feelings inadvertently out of nowhere? Just kind of.
You don't get.
Wow.
As far as I understand from people who have experienced it, feelings is not part of the shared connection.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that if there's exceptional health statuses that cause feelings or are related to feelings may still come across.
Okay, great. I just want to make sure, if I'm studying a lot, I just want to make sure I'm not distracted. I want to make sure my performance is optimal wherever.
Brynn is kind of
accomplish.
chuckling under her breath.
The other part of this is that I can't do this alone. Aside from needing at least, it requires at least 2 people to be bonded together. But it does take at least 2 more, if skilled and knowledgeable, to be able to aid using any form of societal skills or diplomacy. And then I can use the primer powers to finalize the bond.
So do we need like an object for this, or is it just
you
us?
already have objects.
The coins that he he gave us.
Actually, and he points to the friendship bracelets.
Oh.
Actually, I would use those as your bonding objects.
Oh yes,
my God.
The Sandpoint Winter Solstice. Get frosty.
We got frosted. Sandpoint Solstice Festival.
Yes.
Unless you would prefer something else, I can, as part of that, I can use the nature to craft other things such as rings, necklaces, and like different things. But they're going to be much rawer if you would prefer those.
What happens if we lose our friendship bracelets? I mean, aside from destroying the entire friendship.
It would.
Did that happen? That's not the part of this
I'm
spell.
sure it won't.
The friendship bracelets are simply a binding nature that the natural energy channels through. If you are to lose the object, I don't believe that you lose the bond. I don't know how that interacts with other things, because we've just interacted with another thing yesterday that had higher powers than I would expect to worry about, but
Goblin just raises his hand in the back.
Yes, Goblin.
Would this allow for people to talk between realms?
I am not as familiar with divine messaging, and he looks at Glastoc. So it is actually message as a divine spell, but it becomes an innate spell between the bonded people.
That's so sick.
Like a walkie-talkie, but like
It's just on all the time.
Well, you choose to use it.
Yeah, you have to.
It's not.
It's more or less a
Great.
concentration of
Yeah,
using it.
yeah. You don't always
do the
read each other's
act
minds.
thing.
That
I
would
was
be
like,
torture.
okay.
I was like, if I'm going doo-doo, I do not want people to hear that.
Yeah, no, that's infinitely comforting to Brynn, who sometimes wants to be left the fuck alone. So
It'd be more of a concentration action use to be able to
Okay.
to be able to.
Yeah. It's
find
as
them.
per the message spell. Like it's an active action to cast. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Pepper
So-
floats over and goes, "That sounds fun, as long as we understand each other's boundaries."
Well, the message spell only works within 150 feet
Oh, does it? Okay.
or 120.
That's quite several
Mhm.
feet.
If it's heightened, it's 500 feet.
Ooh.
So to answer your question, no, it doesn't go between realms.
Okay.
Brynn would take another drink of mimosa, and which, by the way, is like all champagne and like one little bloop of orange juice.
That's basically how Pepper likes it.
Yeah, perfect. Kindred spirits. And
There we go.
Brynn would be like, I guess I don't mind being bonded to you people.
So here's
I'm
the
in.
question: who is a yes and who is a no to the bonded?
Yes.
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 Aviro's probably a yes.
You spend the morning doing it, and it's
Oh.
bonded. So for
Oh.
time's sake, we're gonna
Oh, okay.
expedite this process, and that it worked, and you are bonded.
I was
Do
going to say,
we
class-
need to roll to see if it critically succeeds? For the
Ooh,
divine
I think
messaging
you
feature?
should roll to see if it critically
Yeah.
Give me a roll to see if
succeeds.
it critically
Crux.
succeeds.
Do it, Joshua.
Yes, Josh.
No pressure.
You got it.
That is a 26, which would boost up to a 32. No,
Zing.
no, it would have to be a 38. There's no way even
Damn
if
it.
everybody else rolls,
Yep.
I'm not going to get to the 38.
Nope,
So
no
it does
problem.
not critically succeed.
Okay, but it succeeds. Everyone is. You have that bonded, and you're kind of playing, testing it out, and things of that nature.
yeah, I was going to say, you said you needed somebody with diplomacy to help because that's what
So,
Glastoc
Yeah,
does.
so that's where the if people have diplomacy in society, they can roll, and if you critically succeed on the roll, which is a 33 by the way, just to share the numbers since Jay's already given us the blessing.
Yeah.
If you critically succeed, you increase my roll.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I have,
And it
I have
requires a-
great diplomacy. so-
I got great society.
So, for levity's sake and time,
Because
because we're getting close to the end of the time, it succeeds. So you are
Ooh,
you have
yeah.
a bond in it. You spend the day kind of figuring some of the stuff out. Ren is packing because she wants to go. She's going to be moving to Salt Marsh very, very soon. Within the next probably 2 days, she wants to move back to Salt Marsh, and so she's packing up her room. Sebastian, and so as a thing, Sebastian is lets you basically is giving the house to the natural ones to stay. Sebastian owns the house, but he's giving it to you as a residence while you stay as an base of operations, which means he's going to be asking Talico and some other people to assist with attic removal.
Oh yeah.
All those plants.
All the
Oh.
frickin' greenhouse, the living little shop of horrors in the
Which
attic.
Gwen will be very upset, but she will get over it, as Sebastian says, because we don't know if she's alive or dead.
I will spend a lot of time intentionally moving them, but trying to create a mini grove to protect them in case Gwen comes back, that there may be some left.
Okay, perfect.
Could they be transplanted to the outdoors?
That's what I'm
Just
talking
on,
about.
on the
Talico's
grounds, just outside.
Talico's trying to
Yep.
move
And
them and create a
the
grove on the
Mhm.
grounds
Deadly
from all the
plants
plants up
will
there.
be taken care of. So
Talico will also handle the deadly plants. He doesn't care. And then he
Oh,
does
great.
immediately.
So in like
Everyone wants
this
nothing
is
to do
kind of
with
a
it.
downtime of rest of 3 days process of getting things organized and packing. Like I said, Ren's going back, which brings us to Glastoc and Aviro. Aviro, you're doing research. I'm going to assume that you're doing and spending time with Pepper during these 3 days of
What do you
Yeah.
need? What do you need me to research?
well, the shards and stuff like that, more stuff like
okay.
that. You know,
Yeah, Pepper is gonna divide her time with helping Ren pack, and also looking into the shards.
mhm.
So Aviro, I'm imagining that Ren is trying to pack. Pepper is helping Ren pack. Aviro is grilling Ren on the shards and what do they know and what have they seen and where have
And
they
I
been.
contribute from here and there.
And she's just like she wasn't there, and
I'll
you
take
could
notes.
tell they weren't. This is why she didn't have the research knowledge. She's a great cleric, but she was not the research person. What is?
I don't know. Go look in the library, you nerd.
What is Pepper's plan?
Yeah, Pepper, because we got to learn about the shards. Pepper would go back to Schmaltmarsh, so Pepper would be traveling with Ren to make sure Ren's also safe, back to Schmaltmarsh, and also continue the research about the shards back in the library.
So yeah, the temple library probably has a lot more information depending on the locations, and that you will be able to share it with Aviro to help with, like, because the library that he has is limited, but the knowledge of where to get the information could be sent to Aviro. Aviro could ask for scrolls or books that Sebastian can get and then get to you for that research. So you're actually working in tangent together to be able to do more and more research, to be able to, because each of the locations have something unique that you might want to figure out, like, okay, what's there? What monsters are there? What's the environment? What potentially could be there? So you're going to get a lot more information on that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing.
Okay.
And we're going to develop that plan.
So, which brings us to Talico and Goblin. What is your plans moving forward? Are you planning on going somewhere, wanting to be somewhere, and how are we going to get you back? Type situation. You're muted.
Damn it. No, back. I would ask Talico to just, or anybody who could help, to just find a little bit more information on finding my parents.
Well, your parents are. You found your parents, and they.
No, oh yeah.
Yeah, you. So what happened is you found your parents with Talico and Timon and Air Genasi monk.
Anyway, no, it's no big deal.
But that was 100 years ago.
Okay.
So your parents have actually probably passed away by now.
Oh God!
Oh,
thanks a lot, Jay. But okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
and that's the end of the episode, everybody.
I mean, actually, no, they're in their they're 100. No one's lived for long. They're in their elderly age. There we go. They're
okay.
Yeah, they're their elderly age.
All right, so then
probably dead. Oh my god.
I would like to look more on research more on reincarnation.
Okay.
And
I'll aid you in that. I have been taught the ritual to do it, but I have never done it because there is a risk of upsetting the natural order. So before there is a need, I would love to accompany you on researching that to better understand it. As I've learned from Aviro, magic has a flow to it. If we can figure out how to reduce the likelihood of upsetting the balance of nature while maintaining life, that could be useful in the long run.
Are you going back to Smaltmarsh then with the island druids, or are you going?
Yeah.
So
Goblin, let's go back to my druidic sect in Smaltmarsh and figure out see what sort of research we can dig up from them.
Probably the temple might have some information too. So I'm assuming then the four of you are going to be traveling back together as once you get to a point, you'll have your own little adventure getting back.
Side quest.
Number 2.
We're going for brunch.
Split the party. Split the party.
As we move as the days kind of get up, by the time it's the time where the four of you will be leaving for Schmaltmarsh, saying goodbye to the natural ones, not permanently, but just for a while while you travel. And we set the scene as you're in your horses and carriage, ready to go off
Ooh.
and you're saying your final goodbyes. Yes, Aviro. Pepper. Sorry.
Okay, all good. I want to do my hugs
Yep.
for each for each of the members of Leaving the Hood. So
There.
Pepper totally hugs and squeezes as hard as they can with Aviro and
Aw.
tells him like take care of themselves.
You as well. Make
Uh,
sure you don't use inferior stationery. It's just not worth it. The ink
Of
runs,
course.
and you just won't be happy with your copies.
You're right, of course, and it's not up to my standards, so I will never use them. And
No,
thank you
don't
for
you
reminding
compromise.
me.
Don't you?
You're right. And then I'll float over to Glastoc and hug Glastoc too, and let him know that like his divinity is even more beautiful as it is now, and thank him
it's
for
so
like
cute.
helping me get back into the conscious state. Also letting him know to take care of Brynn and Aviro on my behalf.
Always.
Then float over to Brynn and hug Brynn really tight and then really quietly whisper in their ear. I hope one day I can follow your advice and have the courage to be honest and share my feelings. Until then, next time.
I glance over at Aviro and I just hug Pepper. Make sure you stay alive and keep your wings attached to you, eh?
Yeah, well, these aren't going anywhere. I hope not.
Mm-hmm.
And then I float back.
Calico and Goblin, what are your goodbyes like as this is happening?
Calico, you go first.
As Pepper is hugging Aviro, Talico's going to go up to Brynn and go over and give her a hug. And as he does, you can tell he's not good at pickpocketing and stealthing things, but he has returned your flask to you.
Amazing.
Full of whatever was the best whiskey that the Rusty Dragon had.
I imagine as he's slipping his hand in her pocket, Brynn like catches him and like just be like, and then just kind of like pats the back of his hand and is like, "Thank you, Calico."
Thank you. It was a fun 3 hours. Fun 3 hour walk back.
Just 3 hours.
That it was.
Going up to Glastoc, he says, "Hopefully, it is good to always see you, friend. Hopefully, you can keep track of everybody."
I do my best, and make sure you take care of Goblin. You know, he's still a bit of a babe in the world, but he's learning. So
It's the baby.
100 years, his outlook is still fresh and renewing.
yes,
There are many long-lived elves that could learn a lot from him.
Yeah.
There, to be honest. And with Aviro, it's very much the like. With Aviro, he walks up and pulls out a notebook and says, "I don't clone books like you do, but at least here's the latest in plants and societal notes that I've been able to keep. So I don't know if you care about those,
I
but
care.
add it to the collection as you see fit. If I wasn't brewing something, I was copying my own notes."
Why, thank you, Talico. The gift of knowledge is the greatest gift one can give. I shall treasure it.
And then with that, he just kind of just kind of quietly nods and smiles, and he just starts walking out. And as he does, like these 3 or 4 different animals, aside from the bird, which does land on Brynn and like lands on her shoulder and starts like nuzzing against her.
I give him a scritch under the chin.
And then as Talico walks out, the bird then takes off and flies off and follows him. And you see like several squirrels and birds just kind of following after him. And he's looking around. And he does hear like, "I'm sorry, Goblin, there's no bees this time either."
That is okay. And you see Goblin is talking to the horse. Goblin is talking, the horse is not talking. So it's just talking one-sided conversation. And then he goes to Glastoc, Brynn, and he offers the same goodbye, and he creates their favorite flowers,
Oh my god.
and he gives them to each of them, and then turns to Aviro and Aviro, what is your favorite flower?
Hyacinth.
And he creates Hyacinth. This is for you. Thank
Why,
you
thank you.
for being. Thank you for the adventure.
Goblin, I have something for you.
Oh,
Reaches into his bag and he pulls out a small, or like, he pulls out a wooden bowl and a wooden spoon, and he pulls out a small bag, like a coin purse size bag, bag. And inside, if you look inside, there's wood chips and pebbles and twigs. This is for you for meal times. If you want to join in at a meal, you will always have something
Oh.
you can consume that you will always be able to participate in a meal. And as your
Precious.
companions describe what it is that is being eaten, you can imagine that is what you are eating as well.
I would take that in mind. Thank you.
So he hands you those things.
And I take it. And as I get up on my horse, talking to the horse and all the critters around, I turn back to them, and you see my eyes dim a little bit, and then go back as I create another memory, core memory.
Oh.
And I just wave
So
goodbye.
Bye.
As they start leaving past the trees,
Pepper!
past the area.
Pepper, wait!
Oh,
Oh
go
no.
get her, man.
Hi.
Get her,
I just-
man.
What?
Travel safe.
Thanks. You take care of each other.
He turns away.
Oh.
Pepper like looks away.
Oh. If this were a 90s rom-com, he would be sprinting through an airport right now. This is bullshit.
Put a speaker. Hey.
And as the scene, the music in the background of a rom-com, as the three of you turn back to go into your home base now, as the four guests of the four adventurers of the party now linked together leave to have their own adventures in Schmalt Marsh, but no doubt will be rejoining the group potentially in the future for other adventures.
Oh my God.
And as the scene kind of ends, that is where we're going to end our conclusion of our guest story arc.
Wow, guys.
Save the Friends right now. Thank you
Save the
everyone for
Friends.
joining us and watching us. We're gonna go around where we can find you and everything else. And I've got two things to add at the end. We'll make it kind of quick because time's kind of a challenge. So thank you for staying late with all of us. Appreciate it. And we're gonna start with you, Jim.
Hi, yeah, I'm Jim, Hawkmere1 on Twitter, and you can find me here on Wednesday nights playing with these great people. And I'm sad that our guests are leaving, but I'm hoping they come back at a later time.
Mm-hmm.
They will. Thank you,
We'll
Jim.
make sure.
Jeff.
I'll make this quick. Hi, I'm Jeff. Thank you so much for watching. This has been fabulous. As always, I love playing with each and every one of you, and I'm so glad for those of you who are watching. I got nothing else.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Carrie.
Oh my gosh. Hello. This is a blast. Thank you guys so much for accommodating my stupid schedule tonight. My name is Carrie. You can find me obviously here on these Wednesday nights. You can find me on Monday nights. We play a Pathfinder 2e campaign on Mini Terrain Domain. You can find me on Thursday night on the same channel. We play Kids on Bikes. And another huge thank you to these awesome guests that we have had. You guys have been amazing. Yes, I wish we could do this all the time.
Thank you, Carrie. Goblin, thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you for being here. Where can we find you and how are you doing?
And me. I am kind of sad that I'm leaving them, but I know they'll be in good hands with each other, and maybe we'll come back. I don't know. I don't know the future.
It's always on the table. Always on the table.
But thank you so much for inviting me. You all have been so delightful, and I hope to play it with you again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Robo. Joshua, how are you doing? Where can we find you?
Fantastic. I always love. Thank you again for having me on here. I love all of these wonderful people. Avril, it was awesome getting to see you and meet you and play with you. You can find me on here on Twitch at Gen2 Penguin. I play horror games most Fridays. It's hard to say every Friday anymore, but most Fridays I play horror games with friends. And then in July 20th, I have JoshCon. So if you want to play in a giant epic Dungeons and Dragons type event thingy, whatever, and you want to travel to Northwestern Arkansas, let me know. You can Twitch message me here on Twitch. Yeah, and I'll hook you up with all the deeds.
Thank you so much, Joshua. It was wonderful to have you here again. Look forward to you back sometime in the future, which is always a plan. So thank you so much. Aviro, thank you again for joining us in the jumps between and having the little bit of a story arc that we were able to throw in and accommodating your schedule to join us. So thank you so much. Where can we find you and how are you?
Oh my goodness. First and foremost, Jay, thank you so much for having me here again. It's been such a pleasure playing with you all. Oh my goodness, I have so much delight for you all make my Wednesday. You make my week. Just for having me and playing with you all. New friends, hello. I'm so happy we got to play together finally. But hey, I'm Aviro. You can find me on Instagram, FunSizeAvril, all together, one word. So if you like cocktails, if you like games, if you like video games, or if you just like my personality, feel free to check me out at FunSizeAvril. I'll be there. But yes, thank you again for having me.
Awesome, thank you. Three things. One, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and again, special thanks to all these wonderful and talented special guests that we have. You make the game better with the group. Your interactions have been so wonderful. I thank you so much for saying yes, and you are always welcome. Scheduling is always the issue, and we will always make time for story and scheduling to have all of you back whenever we can. So I look forward to sometime in the future again. And the fact that we've got 6 players in a game right now is like, wow. So this is the largest that we've had. So for this game. So it's very, very impressive. So thank you so much. Real quick, I'm Jay, also known as Neofit3 in the socials. The one main thing this Saturday, May 4th, May the 4th be with you. We are doing my first charity stream here on the Emporium for the Wayward Gamer. It's our second charity stream. We did one last year with Joshua, and then this year it's mine. So we're doing, we're helping support the American Stroke Foundation because I am a stroke survivor. I am very thankful and very fucking lucky that I am still able to do this. And I recovered. It was a small one, but it was enough that is still altering my life. But I'm happy enough that recovery is allowing me to be here and being able to be with these wonderful people and friends and being able to do a passion that I love. So we are going to donate whatever we can to the American Stroke Foundation for this year. So join us at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, May 4th. Last but not least, post-credit scene that we have for this time.
My favorite thing in the world. This is so
as that opens up, you see a black-scaled dragon-born paladin walking down the streets.
I hate that guy.
A very noticeable Maltmarsh as he walks up to the lizard folk embassy, knocking on the door and going in. Walking past several of the lizard men, he makes his way to the swampy garden that's open-aired in this structure. And as he approaches, there, sitting in a chair next in a stone seat in the garden, is the human form of Rocky. The Dragonborn says, Master, your message was relayed, but he said he will kill them unless they impress him. They are not strong enough to defend or defeat him, I believe. Rocky says, that may be so. I think they still have a chance. Whatever the outcome, has the doppelganger infiltrated the group? The Dragonborn says, it appears they will with a 99% success rate. And Rocky says, good. And just fades as he looks down at the water and the rippling water. And that is where we're going to end
I hate it.
our wonderful episode, because I am an evil GM.
It's gonna
I
be
don't
one
like
of
it.
these fuckers, isn't it? You're
don't
gonna
like it.
invite him back, and then you're gonna make him be a bad guy.
No.
That's the kind of shit we do.
I don't know what you're talking about, that we're all bonded and know everybody's location at all times.
I knew this was a bad idea. Brynn didn't trust it from the beginning. This. Oh no. Oh no.
Who the fuck? You know what?
No, you know what? Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Thank you
No.
again,
Oh
everyone,
my
for
God.
such we appreciate you for being here. Thank you for watching us on the VOD. Thank you for sticking with our stories and enjoying it. We love you all, and we're gonna end with be kind and don't be an asshole. Have a good night.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
Thank you.
You